You are the leader of the opposition for Guyana, and you are also the leader of the PNCR there, the opposition party there. Now, sir, can you tell us before we go into the movie? I mean, you've been in politics since 1972. Can you tell us anything about Mr. Barrow that probably the movie didn't cover anything about Guyana's relationship with Mr. Barrow?
Well, in Guyana,
I don't know if you're aware, but your camera is off.
Oh, the camera is off?
Yes, your camera is off.
It's still off.
Okay. But we can still have the conversation with the camera off. That's okay.
Okay,
all right. Okay, let me turn off. Let me put you back in the green room, and while we get that fixed. All right. Oh, okay. Wow, it's done. Okay, he's right there again. So let me bring him right in. Yes, sir. Okay, we can get to see your nice handsome face. You have a lovely backdrop. We want to see you. What can you tell us? Anything we didn't see in the movie, sir? About the relationship with Mr. Barrow, Errol Barrow, and Guyana.
Well, I think one has to put everything in context. Errol Barrow, like many other Caribbean leaders, especially Norm and Michael Manley and Burnham,
yes,
they traveled to the United Kingdom to study. They studied at a time when the Cold War had now begun.
Yes.
After World War II, you had the Cold War, and a lot of these leaders were in the United Kingdom. Most of them, I know for sure, Barrow, Burnham, Manley, and Pierre Trudeau of Canada were influenced by Professor Harold Lasky,
yes,
who was a left-wing theorist philosopher, call him what you want.
yes.
And so in England, they were exposed to left-wing views and theories. In fact, it is felt that it's that kind of theory that caused both the split in Barbados, with the Barbados Labour Party, and then the emergence of the Democratic Labour Party. In Ghana's case, it was originally the PPP. And in 1955, the same year with Barrow split, Burnham split from the PPP, and the PNC emerged. Now, it is important to understand the context, because in that era, it was difficult to fight colonialism. And they began the fight against colonialism in that era. There are similarities between what Burnham felt and what Barrow felt. For instance, Barrow said, "We will be friends of all, but satellites of none." Burnham at the same time said, "We'll be pawns of neither east nor west." And if you look at the
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, I was saying that Errol Barrow said, "We will be friends of all, but satellites of none."
Yes.
At the same time, Fox Burnham said, "We will be pawns of neither east nor west."
Okay.
What that suggested was that they both were intent on building independent societies, and that their foreign policy will be independent of Europe and North America. Of course, that brought its own challenges, but it must be well established that they were clear in their minds that the party for the development of the countries, if they're going to be independent, have to be with them operating independently while at the same time being friends with the major powers. And I thought that is one of the things I should bring up. I also believe that it's an interesting period, because here is it, some young people from the Caribbean studying in the United Kingdom and doing exceptionally well, both Errol Barrow, and that must have said to them, "Look, we are equal to anybody regardless of race." And I think you saw that manifestation in their political struggles. You saw that manifestation when they are engaging the Europeans and saying to them, look, we have a brain of our own, we can articulate our position and moving forward. The question of integration is also one that one must mention when one talks about Errol Barrow. And first he was committed to a smaller group for integration, and then later, together with Burnham and Manley, Caribbean was launched, later CARICOM, and they have been committed to integration of the Caribbean ever since. And until now, that underpins the relationship. People also must remember, at least when we talk about independence of ideas, Cuba was isolated up until 1972. And it was Burnham, Barrow, and Manley who initiated and led the Caribbean to recognize Cuba. Wow. I didn't see the entire film, so I don't know if that was covered in it.
Yes, that's an area that we looked at where they really recognize Cuba.
They recognize Cuba.
That was a relation. They had Burnham. It's Burnham, Manley, and Barrow.
Yes, Burnham, Manley, and Barrow. And so I thought that was significant because at the time in the Cold War, it was a great risk to do so. But I recall them arguing that the United States was having a rapprochement with Moscow.
Honorable Norton, because we're talking about what happened in the past and the collaboration between these three Caribbean leaders in ensuring that America did not impose its policies in the region. But let's look at what's happening right now in the Caribbean region. Do you see that kind of collaboration happening and that strength of leadership to tell the U.S. absolutely no way you can't implement your policies in the Caribbean?
No, you're not seeing that level of collaboration. In fact, the era we spoke about was a totally different era. After the collapse of the Berlin Wall and the emergence of perestroika and glasnost in Moscow, and people begin to adapt to the Western liberal system, you will recall in that era there was a lot of structural adjustments, and many countries in the Caribbean were in trouble.